I am going to be joined by a very, very special guest who has made maximum money and hundreds and crores of rupees in the stock markets, and now he is going to be sharing his pearls of wisdom with you all when it comes to investing not only in the stock market but also in mutual funds. But later on the show, remember, Diwali is not just about earning and investing your money but also spending it, and like we on the Money Show also say, spending your money is equally important. Hence, we are going to be telling you all about credit card spending, getting your home decked up for Diwali, and also eating right. All of this in a budget. On the Money Show and on ET now, as you know, we are celebrating Diwali by theming it Naya Saal, Nayi Shurwaat. For all our viewers out there, for all our investors out there, especially the ones who want to kickstart their investment journey, Diwali certainly is a time when you can do so, because like we say, it should be Naya Saal, Nayi Shurwaat. And hence, on the Money Show, I have with me a very special guest. And this is a man who has managed to convert a few thousands and a few hundreds into hundreds of crores of rupees. And that's a dream that I'm sure all of you guys have. So let me introduce Vijay Kedia. Let me scratch that actually. Here's a man who does not need an introduction. Mr. Vijay Kedia started off from Calcutta or Kolkata and moved to Mumbai. Mr. Kedia, it's really our honor and pleasure having you with us on the Money Show. You know, when I said that term, from a few hundreds and thousands to hundreds and crores of rupees, this is something that I'm sure has grabbed a lot of our viewer attention. So I think to start off with, before we go into, you know, the other parts of the conversation, what was your story? What was your journey like?
No, first of all, let me tell you, as you introduced, that it from thousands to what?
Hundreds of crores.
Hundreds of crores rupees. You put more emphasis on rupees. So actually it should be in dollar. Okay.
Oh wow.
So it is still in rupees only. So that shows that I have not really done that well as you are describing. And now coming back to the
Let me say, humility as well is a great characteristic then that Mr. Kedia has. Good.
So now coming back to your question, that I moved from Kolkata and all, so that you know, so everybody in our life we all start from scratch only. So I also started from scratch, and you also started from scratch in your own field. So there is nothing great. So what differentiates between few and others is the only thing which I have realized in my life is your passion and perseverance, right? So I sometimes when I imagine or I visualize myself, so I think that I am maybe like a sumo wrestler. You know, you punch me, you push me or you knock me down, but I will come back again and I will get up again. So I am not a kind of person who will accept defeats so easily. So maybe that is a little bit difference, which we can say about myself, that you can say that I will come back again even after falling down.
Okay. So perseverance, I think that is something that you really did. And you know, Mr. Kedia, what you're saying, there's a very famous saying, and I think I really abide by this one. If you're born poor, it's not your fault. But if you die poor, it is your fault. Yes. I think, you know, your words which you just said resonate very well with that. Yes. Okay. Now, you know, for our viewers, especially like, you know, our audience is some of the younger ones who are just starting off. And many a times they are tempted कि चलो, you know, थोड़ा trade कर लेते हैं और वो quick पैसा बना लेते हैं. And sometimes it works, you know, it's great. But many a times it does not work, and the losses as well are great over there. So many a times they are confused between trading and, you know, investing using fundamentals, you know, reading about the company, etc. You have of course done both. So share with us your experience in both aspects.
First of all, I will tell you two things about these trading things, and I tweeted that also, that trading is injurious to your wealth. First mantra is this. And secondly, if you are smoking, you may die in 20-30 years, but if you are trading, the chances are that you may die next day. So please remember this thing, and don't go on what I did in my life, because not necessary it works for everyone, because trading is a double-edged sword. Not necessary that you will be successful in trading. And I have seen people who have lost their 10 or 20 or 30 years of wealth in 3 months' time in trading. So it is so dangerous. So it is something like going to swim in the sea before knowing the swimming. So it is very difficult to make money in trading. Hardly 1% people make money into trading. So I would say that before going into trading, you should understand pros and cons. Don't just because you have money, so you cannot trade. So because any amount of money will fall very small if you are into trading.
So would you say that, I mean, you've had a very long investment journey. What would you say would be your biggest mistake you may have made, during your career?
You see, I started, usually I will just give you the reply of this before coming to this point. I also started with trading, and this is what people know a little bit about my story. They also ask me that you are telling people not to trade, but you yourself have started your journey with trading. As people know that the first investment I made into stock market was 35,000 rupees.
Yes.
And that 35,000 rupees I got from trading only. Then people are telling me, then why do you say not to trade? They do not understand the inside things, or they do not read between the lines that to make that 35,000 rupees to invest in investment, I had to wait for 10 years.
Okay.
So if you are ready to face that kind of journey, then it is all right. So now what I am dragging as what I am repenting, or what one weakness I have, this is what you asked in my life, that I still couldn't get rid of trading from my life.
So you're still trading?
I still trade, although I preach, I tell people, that is why I am telling people not to indulge into trading, because that is still a drag on my portfolio. And still whenever I trade, 90%, 95% times I lose money.
Okay, so it is very tempting, the whole thing of trading, clearly, right?
Tempting, it is like I have given one interview to your newspaper, Economic Times newspaper, a few years back, and you should read that article. There I had mentioned that trading is something like drug. That time I had seen that movie Udta Punjab, how people indulge into drugs and all. And if once you become drug addict, then you can sell anything in your house. You can go to any extent to get money to do drugs, right? Trading is more addictive than drugs actually. You can go to any extent. That is why I have seen many people losing 20 years of savings in the span of 2 months or 3 months, or maybe in one trade.
Okay, so I think in the span of these last 7 minutes, we've compared trading to drugs as well as smoking. So guys, clearly, especially if you're a newcomer, especially if you're not full-time into trading, it really is injurious to wealth. And this is coming in from a man who has made his money in trading, just a very small proportion.
And is still losing money in trading.
And still losing money in trading. Okay, so of course, your forte is spotting all those multi-baggers, the ones that become 10x, 100x, and I'm sure you will be able to elaborate more on that, 1000x as well, I think in very, very few cases. So again, all our viewers as well are obviously looking for that one stock and that one tukka jo ek lag jaye. What do you look for in a company? Those 4 or 5 things. I know you have a strategy called SMILE, which you adopt in real life as well and in your career.
Yes.
So if you could just elaborate on that and educate our viewers on that.
So as you rightly said, that I am following the principle of SMILE. So and it's to define this, my S stands for small in size, because usually I am a small investor and I invest in small companies only, small and mid caps. So S stands for small in size, M stands for medium in experience, that I will define you later, and L stands for large in aspiration, and E stands for extra large market potential. So I am just looking, so first thing is integrity, honesty of the management. Management is very important. Management should be honest, hungry, and smart. So that is the first criteria. And if the management is passed from that, is credibility is established, then what I see, that company should be small in size, because chances are multiplication in smaller companies are more than the large companies, usually, generally speaking. And that company should also be having medium in experience. So why this medium in experience is very important to understand. Why I have chosen the word medium, because I don't invest in any company which is just 5 years old or 10 years old. It should have at least a history of 15 or 20 years of establishment. As there is a tweet of mine which says that when you make money, when you are successful, then you earn. When you are, when you are not successful, then you learn. So this is what they learn from their mistakes. And even after 15, 20 years of experience, like suppose if the company is having large in experience, like suppose they have an experience of 40 years, but they are still a small cap. That means they do not have in their DNA. that means that company cannot become a bigger company. That is why that medium in experience is very important, and large in aspiration. Usually what happens, I have seen that a company, if it transforms from say 100 crore to 300 crore, 500 crore, by that time the management, they lose the fire in the belly, So that aspiration should be there. Oh my God, 500 crore is nothing. Now I am at 500 crore. I have to reach 2,000 crore. I have to reach to 1 billion. I have to become $1 billion company. That kind of aspiration should be there.
Yeah.
That ambition should be there, because it's very simple. If the company will not become $1 billion company, I will not become $1 million shareholder or investor, right? So that aspiration should be there. And last is large in market potential.
Market potential.
If the market potential is there for 5,000 crore, then a 200 crore company can become 700 crore company or 1,000 crore company. If the market size in itself is 500 crore, then how can a 400 crore company can become 1,000 crore company? So it is better to select a company which is like a fish in the ocean, not a crocodile in the pond.